Hello, everybody. Welcome back to
Boo, you whore.
a show about horror, glamour, and everything in between. My name is Benji, and I never rehearsed my entrance line.
Oh my God, my name is Mac, and it's not the 1950s anymore. We can have both.
My name is Mikey, and I'm not just mom's favorite. I can be your dad's.
And my name is Morgan, and I'm Mikey's dad's favorite.
Ha ha! Damn.
Oh, God.
Shut
And
up!
today, and today we are going to get into season 6, episode 6 of
Dragula.
and how fitting that we are all wearing black and white tonight. Um,
What white am I wearing?
sure. But everyone comes into the cauldron, like no tea, no shade. They already knew it was the lip sync was the extermination last time, so no need to beat around the bush. I'm like, who's staying? Who's going? You know. Um,
Yeah.
and they immediately just
R.I.P.
start
Miss Vivi.
R.I.P. Miss Vivi the Force. Um, lashes, lipstick, and holy highlighter. Um,
Real.
Exactly.
shout out
Exactly.
to Miss Valerie Vision for that. Everyone comes into the cauldron and immediately starts discussing the vote. And quite literally how everyone was chicken shit. They wanted to vote out, or they wanted to put Gray and Auntie in the bottom two, backed the fuck out, and chose Vivi and Auntie instead.
They should have done that. I'm
They should
sorry.
have, but
Like,
Like,
why are we even talking about it if we're not gonna do it? Just do it. It's
grow
TV. Who
up, make the
cares? Like,
move, be strategic. Like, who cares if the fans hate you for it? Okay, look at Alaska.
I mean, I don't think it was the fans. I mean, yeah, that's probably like a good part of it. But considering this game has been I say game, Jesus. Considering this show has been very strategy heavy, the last couple episodes, I think they're more worried about repercussions of the short-term future than the long-term future. I don't think they can give a damn what we think about it. They're gonna be like, I fucking did it.
I
there's
think I think that the producers, the the tall one and
No,
the
we're
tall
not
one
allowed
and
to
we're
say
not
the
doing
that.
that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
We're not allowed to say that.
Boule one and Boule two.
Thank you.
Um, I think they put on their little producer caps and they are like, let's spice things up and let's put in a little twist here and there. And they want to make some gaggy moments. I think one of my highlights of the entire franchise is when J. Jolie used the key of life and death to put Bitter Bitty in the bottom. Ba ba ba
Mhm.
bum. Like it was that was such an iconic moment. And didn't Bitter Bitty literally go home that same episode? Like
Yeah.
it was closed casket for Miss Bitter Bitty. And I just want to see more moments like that. There's Titans too. Like this isn't the last time we're gonna see
Okay.
these artists, you know?
Also,
Literally.
but before Morgan
Literally.
gets into it, that was also the same episode we had the Cauldron of the Year.
Oh,
I was talking, I was
I
talking, I was talking.
was talking. Fine,
Like
I'll stop
because
talking.
everyone's fucking going crazy.
Literally, pandemonium had happened. The full moon was somewhere in the horizon.
that might be one of my favorite episodes of all time, to be so
It's
real.
it's so good.
It is.
because the challenge is good too.
It
Mhm.
was it was Ghost Ship Glamour, iconic, the most iconic cauldron we've ever seen. We had the key be used in an iconic way, and then we had like a cute little like the extermination challenge was
Quite literally, like season one T, where they had to do like a photo shoot.
Yeah,
oh
in the
photo shoot.
rocks, like in the
Yes.
waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like they had that cute little thing of like they showed the beginning of the extermination at the beginning and it was foreshadowing.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they also had no, I'm confusing that with when Ashford went home that same
No, they still
season.
did.
There
They did
was
that throughout the entirety of the
Oh,
season.
okay,
So,
okay.
so that's
So I
good.
remember Ian, icon Ian, being in the episode that Ashford got eliminated in. Love Ian,
Yep.
but alas,
Oh, and speaking of
different
chicken, we
season.
get the chicken reference again.
Oh my God.
And
Made the
that
chicken
chicken,
live on.
they're gonna literally use that
They're gonna
footage
beat that
until
chicken to
the
death.
Let the
until the end of
chicken
the season.
die.
She's
It's already
already
dead, girl.
dead.
Already dead.
Literally.
They're gonna keep talking about that damn chicken until it's Thanksgiving and then it'll be fucking turkey. Like,
Girl.
wrap it up.
Bagok, bagok.
But it's like they even when they were filming this, they already knew that that was gonna be like a moment that people talked about.
Okay.
And
I think it is less of the moment than they thought it was going to be.
oh my God, like oh. But speaking of gates, we literally have a new gate, leader gates, because
Oh,
we come back to the Jaharia is mad that she says this later on, but she feels like Pi took away her win because Pi stated that oh she was the leader when before as they were getting ready they were saying it was a collaborative effort and Pi kind of piggybacked on that. But where I differ, I kind of agree with Pi on this one because it also likens to oh god, Bibi Zahara Benet and Aja's situation type tease. Like even if I said this, the fact that it was a performance challenge, I still did the best. I would still have that win. I didn't take nothing from you. I earned what was mine. I was like that's kind of tea. It wouldn't have saved her either way. So
That's how you view the BB Aga
eh,
debacle?
to like a very summarized extent. If I were to open it in context, I'm sure it looks a lot different, but that's what it reminded me of.
and for me, I'm still in the camp that Jaharia should have won that challenge.
I'm still
Exactly.
kind of in that camp, to be honest. Like, yeah, do I think Pi earned her win. That's valid, but do I think I think Jaharia was right there for me. Like going from first take, first view. Jaharia had that. Like,
Hmm.
no tea, no
Hmm.
shade.
And I think even if we're looking at it from like a storyline perspective, it could have been really satisfying for them and probably would have really empowered Jaharia if after the critiques they gave her to give her the win and be like, you are the star. Like, remember that. But that makes me think they just like aren't really featuring Jaharia
Yeah,
in a narrative sense, and
Yeah,
that stinks.
exactly that.
I agree, considering she may not be winning a single challenge at the moment. She's winning the edit, like down. There's not a
Like
moment you don't see her.
in the sense that I still have the same read of Jaharia, like based on preseason prediction wise, just like this person's probably gonna go at least like midway, but I don't see them being pushed episode by episode as like a serious contender to win. More so just like a
Hmm.
character that you're supposed to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It feels like there's no real storyline propelling them forwards. They're just liking their energy, which is not gonna bode well for them if they're looking to push front runners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it seems like there are a handful of front runners that
Yeah,
they are trying to push right now.
when
And
we're already this many episodes in, it's like okay, if you're not standing out as one of like three, four, five people, you're probably not in the running anymore unless you like go hard.
Hmm.
And if you're not going the best of your ability, then
yeah,
Okay, well, not too much because Yuri doesn't have a win yet, and
well,
the
you
reasoning still
know.
stands.
I mean, I love Yuri. I love Yuri so much, but I
Oh my
Not a front
God.
believe
runner.
it it's not looking good for her for really similar reasons to Jaharia. Like, I think she had she had her little storyline with
Hmm.
like being in the bottom and then coming back. And I think it could have been I if she had gotten the win instead of Aurora
Hmm.
in the on the ghost train,
Hmm.
which I think she could have. I think she would be more in the running, but Aurora snatched that win, and then, well, we'll talk about that later.
Real. Um,
Yeah.
but just to troll things right along, Jaharia was like, the lip sync was giving mid, and I was like, meh. I could see it.
I
It's not
mean,
like one of those upbeat songs to be like, gah, gah. Like it wasn't like the I Love Hollywood that we got to experience.
I mean, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. I'm pretty sure we
Yeah.
said
So
that in our like review episode. Like it
it
was
was
it.
just fine.
Yeah, Auntie won, but like not by much.
I think comparing this like lip sync extermination and last season's, I thought JK like really ate that down. And with the
Yeah.
high energy song, there's more gaggy moments you can do. So I think that's one just like really hit a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and especially since I think that one even hit harder too because it was JK versus Jarvis, who the Boulets really liked, and JK was somebody who kept being in the bottom, and so they easily could have sent JK home if it was a tight lip sync, like if it was close,
Hmm.
but it wasn't.
Yeah. I'll
JK,
say that
JK,
like neither of the people that lip synced this season were as bad as
Oh, by far.
Jarvis by any means. So it was like, but it wasn't anywhere as good as
yeah.
JK. So it was just kind of like a middling
Yeah.
whatever.
So Pi begins going in on like being transparent on why they voted for Auntie. And in the midst of all that was like, we don't have to continue to speak on it now. And Auntie goes, okay. And is turns and I lived as Pi continues to talk. I'm just like, oh girl, I know you're trying to give her your explanation, but she's not gonna hear it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. This is not the time to
Right.
hear.
Like, read the room, sister. It's okay.
I know she does it because she cares, but I know like you gotta wait until someone's receptive to hear it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then Auntie brings up an interesting theory or point here, and I want to delve into it with you girlies because she feels like going into it an extermination is a prerequisite for the crown. I kind of want to know what my girlies' feelings are on that.
I don't think it's necessary to go into one. Mainly because in the recent seasons, usually everyone but the winner in the like last competitive episode before the finale, everyone will end up going in anyway.
Hmm.
And I remember like Dali in season 4, and then Neo had to do like the this motion is me, some like me
The
with
like boxing
the
with
little
the
boxing
stick.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly
Um,
what I was gonna say. I was gonna agree with you 100%. Like I don't think it's required at all to be in the bottom. You don't have to be in the bottom to see any sort of extermination because half the time they're throwing everybody in one anyway, just in case.
Right. And I
So,
mean, we've even seen them put ask people who are not in the bottom to do the extermination
mhm.
because
Literally.
they want to see them do it. Like it's not like you don't
Like
you
your time will come regardless. That doesn't mean you have to do poorly in the
right.
competition and land in the
Exactly.
bottom.
And I think it is very much anti wanting to feel better about her
Yeah.
being in the bottom
It's
and
an ego thing. It's a like
yeah.
self-defense thing to be like, you know what,
yeah,
I actually didn't do that bad. And like I'm gonna bounce back from this. So I'm not
it's
gonna like
good.
fault Auntie for saying that because I would probably
Yeah,
be like twisting it
exactly.
in my
Like
head too.
it's probably just like, yeah, I was in the bottom, but like I needed to be in the bottom at least once, just because
This was
everyone.
my cool down episode.
My vulnerability episode. Like, to me, it
What's her
just
edge
gave like,
giving?
I'm coping.
CP positive
But
5.
Not the Edgic.
She wishes. She fucking wishes.
Where's the Dragula Edgic chart?
girl, you know what? I'll make one.
I was like, I'll make you one. Don't worry about it. I can rate that. I love to watch
Um,
the edit.
oh, speaking of that, I was like, Gray must have been an Orger in a past life because the smartest thing that they said was because they started talking about strategy again, and they were like, the best strategy is not to talk about your strategy. And I'm like, thank you. Like, hello. Why
What
are
do
you gonna
you
give up the
I don't
formula?
even really agree with that.
What do you
Why?
mean? Morgan Michaels love talking about this strategy in All Stars 3 and they did really well.
I think there's a
Sure,
difference in
Jen.
not talking about your strategy and like being a little too open about your strategy.
Yeah,
No,
there's talking about your
exactly.
strategy, and then there's blowing up your spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
There's being stupid and saying something that nobody needs to hear just because you want to say it. A la Morgan McMichael is just coming in and saying, I will be eliminating the strongest person no matter what.
Bindilla, who was about to
Literally.
mother 5 episodes, being like, that's like not the tea for me. I actually want to
Literally.
eliminate
Literally.
myself, not you. Thank you.
Like
Literally.
like why would you talk about your strategy? Then the girls know and it's like, okay, them,
Yeah.
target, now. Like it,
But I also see the value in talking strategy with people
oh,
like
of
in an open
course.
way to like get them on your side.
Hmm.
Especially if
Right.
you know other bitches. If I know other bitches are already talking strategy, I'm about to start pulling some people to the side.
Right.
Like
No,
I'm not
time
just
and
gonna be
no
like,
time
Exactly.
and place,
I'm just
absolutely.
I'm
But
just
don't be like,
here. Like
I will be eliminating that bitch over there that I'm pointing to. Like,
I like doing that too. So
oh girl, I know. Uh I know. Um all right, so the challenge was issued and we get the Monochrome Monster challenge. So the ghouls are tasked with conceptualizing a new creature purely of black and white based on classic creatures of the silver screen or of yesteryear.
period.
What
I
do we think?
love this challenge.
What would we have done in this challenge?
In a joking way, I would just say detox in the season 5 finale.
Bye.
Girl,
The villain at that
Um,
time was replacement.
I feel like I'd want to do like an old like a kaiju or something, like a Godzilla moment, um, something, some sort of like inspired by like Japanese old film.
I'm kind of getting an inspiration of. Have y'all seen the movie Van Helsing with
yeah.
Hugh Jackman and obviously,
No,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Kate
Uh,
Beckinsale? Y'all haven't seen that?
no, yeah.
no.
Gay
Because
people, we
I'm
lost.
real.
We
I
lost.
do I remember watching that movie and wanting
See,
to be
us
one of the
horror
like
gays, like
aides.
we're here because I
I'm
grew
just
up
not a
on this
movie
shit.
watcher.
Like,
I'm
which
We'll
is
sorry.
so weird.
fix that.
Okay, I'm like, I have like a homework list for Mikey of like things to watch because you never watch movies. Um, like all of the Lord of the Rings are on there. This is just to expose Mikey
Lord
for
of
the
the
pod time. Like,
Rings.
yes, Mikey's never seen the Lord of the Rings, any of them.
I've read them, but I've not watched them.
I've
Oh,
not done either.
Girl, what?
damn. Okay, chill,
Like,
chill.
yeah, okay. Damn, she got time to read.
And did.
The amount of non podcast related topics we're having, this could be a whole other episode of just like extras.
Just
Whatever.
random
Anyway,
shit.
back to what I was saying. I would the brides. I would base it off of their
Yes,
like vampire form and do like
Real.
the cunty one that gets blown up by the wagon or the carriage.
I'm
I
literally Googling right now.
loved her, loved
Ugh,
them.
he served
They were
cunt.
so cunty.
Like, I'm literally, hold on, copy image. Let me go. Chuck it in the chat. This is what they look like without like their evil form. This is just them like serving.
Okay, and then show their evil form because they're serving there too. That's what I would
I'm
base it off of, the
I'm
evil form.
looking. Oh, bat form.
Hmm.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
these
Yeah.
Like, show
Very.
the one with the long
Yeah.
black hair. That's the one I would be
Oh, the
guessing.
long black hair. Okay, I found the one with like
Either
the
her or
red.
the orange hair
oh,
or the red hair.
mothers.
Yeah.
Look at the
Those colored
oh
contacts, I can't.
no, and they eat down.
They're eating.
Oh, this is a GIF.
Exactly.
It's not gonna load as a GIF, but
Oh my god. That cunty collar, I cannot.
Like, that's the bitch I would be doing. And I love them in their vampire
Oh,
looks.
word.
hey, no, they look so good.
Like, growing up with that movie, it was over for my gay ass. Like, I was obsessed with these bitches. They didn't even have, like, two of them didn't even have names really. Like, you heard their name like one time. And I'm like, those are my, like, they're the
That's
side, like, villain characters that, like, are one note completely. I'm like, they're cute. They're hot and fine.
that's literally just like the Hex girls in a different form. I don't know what to tell you.
They're gonna put a
Um,
spell on you.
They're so everything.
for me, for like the black and white look, I would want to do something similar to Pi in terms of concept of like, I want something that just scares the living fuck out of you. Like, I want like a creature that's actually scary and not puppy's playtime, you know? Um,
um, for my
Uncanny Valley. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good.
Uncanny Valley. That's what I would
Um,
do. Like almost human, and it's creepy as fuck.
so
That's what I would do.
I would like to do one of two things. One of them is a little too like non-classic, but I'd love to do if I had the skill, I would love to do Hey Bye from Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Is that
Who is that?
the
The
one with the water?
Here,
No.
here, here, here.
Let
That
me Google. Hey, bye. I can't. I don't
is
know
a
how to.
like
If you just describe it to me, I'll know what you're
Avatar.
demon
talking about.
white. So originally it's like a panda when it's peaceful, but when you fuck up the
Oh,
spirit world, it turns
Right,
into
right,
hmm
this
right, right,
like
right, right, right.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
four-armed
yeah.
creature
Didn't know the
bitch.
name, but understand the reference now.
Heibai was a badass bitch. Or if they
Mhm.
wanted more classic, I would love to do like a reinterpretation of Lily Munster from the Munsters.
Okay, word.
Period.
Me
Yes, like
Googling
Oh,
very that,
just
yes,
very
yes,
that.
searching.
ma'am. Yeah, I
Mhm.
remember this guy. Yeah,
I
yeah.
would
Oh,
love to be Heibai.
Yes.
Lily Monster eats down. I don't know enough about the monsters.
Honestly,
I need
it's
to.
such a cute moment.
Yeah, cutesy. Very I f I feel like uh Louisiana Purchase
Mhm.
or Sigourney Weaver could really eat down.
Beaver.
Girl,
No, I mean from in
She
like
meant
the
the
famed
80s
actress.
look,
The actual
famed
actress.
the
Sigourney
actor.
Weaver would eat down.
Ellen
However,
Ripley's walking in this bitch.
Literally.
uh, let's see. Oh, okay. So the Fright Feet, they brought it back, but we don't get Cynthia. Wait, no,
No, ma'am.
No,
no, that's right. We just get Israel.
no.
Because they're
Um,
fake.
so they have to use an old compact from the 1900s to create a new monster mug, and the winner is able to curse a competitor during the preparation of the floor show this week. A couple of quotes I would love to take from that is everyone looks amazing, and then there's Aurora
Bye.
by
I just
Anti-Heroine.
this fucking segment of all of them spitting in the fucking makeup and then putting it on their face.
It was
Ew.
It
icky.
was giving
Ew.
unhygienic.
Hmm.
It wasn't until Aurora figured out that you could use the cold cream as like a grease base
I think
to do
that's
anything.
what would design is for. Like the cold cream is for mixing it, and they're like, oh wait, it's supposed to be like a grease paint, right? Didn't know that.
Literally.
But spit away,
And
like
and then my favorite quote, we all look like shit, Jaharia. And I'm like, T.
True.
Right. No, she said it.
yeah.
They all look like shit. Like some of them looked all right, but they certainly weren't meant to look pretty. Um,
If so, challenge failed.
but the winner is Pie. To where Pie says, I love winning something after just winning something.
Pie in the conventional chair being like, so now I have two wins.
Listen, not the Laduca of it all.
Let us. I said let us.
And
My
Pie
Connecticut
chose.
mother. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Of course, that brings you back.
It
Oh my God.
does.
The Connecticut reference.
Just
And
talk about Connecticut.
literally,
That or New
Pie.
York.
Typical.
Speaking of New York, um, Pie chose to curse gray matter with boule blindness, so they have to wear the same contacts that the boulets do for their looks during the preparation for their floor show. I was, I, listen, I was 50-50 mad. I was 50% mad
Hmm.
because it's like, y'all literally see Asia right there. But y'all want to pick on Gray. Like, ain't there somebody else?
Not even just that, but also like gray matter probably has a little bit of experience wearing contacts like that, right?
Literally.
Like
Literally.
I would. That's such a waste. It's not that your biggest competitor, and it's somebody who like is probably not going to bother that much.
I think
So it's like
it ends up being funnier too because Pi starts going like, well, you have experience with Haunt, so this shouldn't be an issue. To where Gray response was like, so what's the fucking point?
literally. And then it's like you're giving them a storyline too. You're giving your competitor the storyline of like, I can overcome this obstacle I was given.
They've
I
already
hate
overcome it
that.
once.
And that's happened, literally, that's happened before where they target somebody and they just like overcome it because of course they're going to. They're a professional. And it's like
Right.
something they're clearly going to be able to work past.
I would just fuck someone over real bad.
Exactly. I'd be like, okay, Yuri,
Uh,
okay, Aurora. Like,
I quoted Gray, and Gray said, "Yay, I won two curses now. Fuck these bitches." And like T, like, come on now. Like, I just think yes, Gray is a massive amount of competition. I'm not saying let off the gas, and that's me saying this as a biased gray matter stand. Like, I would still keep pressure on their necks, but like consistently like that, it's a little unnecessary.
it's
Hmm.
getting
now
weird.
that's
Like, this is not your
bullying.
strongest competitor.
No, very super nanny. Like, now that's bullying. Did you see that? But also, this curse has been my favorite one they've done this
Oh
season.
yeah.
Like, even like I didn't realize it was also the preparation, and I thought it would just be like doing your makeup. I'm like, ugh, your line might not be perfect in the eye or whatever, but no, it's like preparing and like there's so much shit to do
Yeah.
with your look. So I think if the curse was put on a specific
Literally anyone
person,
else.
it would
Like,
like really fuck them over. I know if not to say that I'm ever gonna be on Dragula, like please help, be serious. But I think I would stress the fuck out. And if I'm in the bottom two, I'm like, it's your fault. And just like get so angry in the cauldron. And that's good TV.
And
Because
mhm.
I'm hashtag team audience, everyone. If I'm
I,
on
I,
reality
I need
TV.
to make a statement.
okay.
I'm getting a little annoyed this season.
Oh.
And I just
Okay.
have to say it because I don't like when a show that has never been like super focused on strategy or something suddenly likes to focus on strategy because I'm a strategy person. So when the strategy doesn't matter at the end of the day and we're focusing so heavily on it and this season has been so strategic and it keeps coming up and then just like womp womp every time. And it's like, then why are we talking about it? Why are we making it that big of a deal? Because before
But
they've had decisions like this and they haven't focused so heavily on like the strategy of it and making it seem like this is going to happen and that they're
Yeah.
thinking through their options or they're making alliances with other queens and stuff. It's just
We've
irking
literally
me a
had
little
all
bit,
of two alliances this entire season, and both of them are with Pi involved.
girl. And then she ain't doing nothing with them. Like,
I mean, she's
why
like
do we have alliances?
it reminds me of in All Star 7 of Drag Race. Oh my God, it's the other show. Um, in All Star 7 when like the twinners, Monet, I was about to say Bob, that's crazy. Monet and
You didn't even have to say
Trinity.
that. You didn't even have to say it.
When they're
That's
like,
crazy.
let's have like a little alliance. And like, what did that amount to? Not a lot. They both lost in
Well,
the
other than
end.
Monet bringing Trinity to the end.
And then and
Yeah.
they beating her the fuck up in that lip sync. Besides that, besides that,
Why do
it
you have to bring
didn't.
Jinx up like that? That's crazy.
Oh,
We didn't bring up that soundbite. So it is time for. Imagine if the Swamp Witch did actually come on Dragula. I would kind of live.
I'm surprised they haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
too
don't I
surprised, just
don't know if
considering
they.
Homegirls won twice
I
Yeah, I
mean,
and
don't.
is
you have
still.
people like Alaska on there,
Well, that's
Right.
true, but I think
And
Alaska's also
even
Violet,
like
I was about to say, even one of tonight's judges.
Trixie,
literally.
You mean as a
Yeah.
contestant? I'm like the
Katya.
Swamp Witch won. Like, why does
Right, can we have the Swamp Witch appear, please? That'd be so much fun.
And
Do I
Dayla, just for fun.
do I look like a swamp witch? Who?
Have them on
Dayla
together. They could be
Angela
like
Cream?
have them on as a package deal like they were in that one pit stop episode.
And
Right.
And
oh,
have
when
Jinx
Jinx
just be
Actually,
Jinx is high
fucked
as
up.
fuck.
I was about to say, please let Jinx be stoned as hell
And
again.
have her wear that same wig that's like slid back all the way back here.
They're just serving Chop Top. It's okay.
Ask her to do a cartwheel.
They
Girl.
were just serving gray matter in the premiere episode
Bye.
with the strands of hair. Fine.
All right. It is time for the floor show. I will say, as of this episode, this is one of my favorite Boulay looks.
I mean,
Yeah.
work. It's
Where's our
cool.
visual aid?
Not for this one.
Turn the TV on with me remote.
I only had it for the girls.
Ooh, I talk about looks,
Fun.
but the looks aren't there.
But the guest judges are Mike Flanagan and Violet Chachki.
Like,
Love.
duh.
Mhm.
Love that.
Listen, anytime Violet is present, I know people are gonna get red, and I kind of live.
Hmm. Exactly.
I go back. Wait, listen. I go back to the season 13 ball episode of the pit stop. I watch that all the
Literally.
time.
I
It's
was
iconic.
She said, "No,
No.
I
it's not a gas."
I always
this my
forget. Do you sew?
Did you say that?
Did you sew that? No.
I kind of wish Violet was more of a bitch. Like Violet was
I
being
think you're the
like
first person that's ever
giving.
said that. That's
I
crazy.
think Violet was actually giving constructive criticism. I wanted Violet to
I
just be like,
loved it.
actually, quit drag. This is terrible. Go home. Like, oh, the twins. This is the one you're sending home. Yeah.
Not
Like,
twins.
Twins.
That's
I mean, yeah,
crazy.
but I can't believe the Boulets were doing Ozempic and like now they're so skinny with their
Girl, bye.
floor show look. That's
Bye.
crazy.
But
Bullying works.
seeing Violet Chachki on the
But
judges panel. Violet, a
yes,
lot of people know, is my favorite winner of Drag Race. So I'm like obsessed with Violet
I mean that
Chachki.
that checks out.
Exactly.
I think this was a great challenge for her to be a judge on too. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
Like quite literally the prosthetics and the nails on the prosthetics,
it was cute.
it
iconic.
was cute. I didn't
the
like
outfit
care
is
for
a
the actual
little,
outfit. Yeah,
yeah, it's a little strange. I don't really get it. I don't get
the
the.
actual outfit's a little
Me neither,
lumpy
but I
and
still really
baggy.
like it. I
I
No,
still
I
like
like
love
it.
I love the silhouette personally, and I think the like frumpiness looks good because
Mhm.
it reminds me of like a curtain at a theater, you know? And I think
I
that's like
still like the Ghost
dramatic.
Hotel look more.
I
No,
don't know
you
that.
don't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
do.
don't.
Y'all hate
Shut
the Ghost.
up.
Everyone, including
No,
them,
I
hates the Ghost
said
Hotel
they
look, and I
hated the
still live.
hats. They hated it.
Well, they're
I never
wrong for
said I
that
didn't
because
like
I
it.
understood the hats, and everyone else is just a
And
hater.
what were they?
They're like the puffer things. Come on, get with
They look
it.
like lily pads.
You just weren't seeing the vision.
No, but I will be seeing Vision Quest on Disney Plus whenever that comes out.
Girl, no, Disney's not paying us. Don't do that.
Shit.
Like,
Bleep.
excuse me?
Damn it. I feel
Speaking
weird
of
that Disney
seeing into the
sponsor.
future, we're gonna
Spoiler.
we're gonna
Oh,
start with our girls here with visual representation. And up
exactly.
first we do have Jaharia. Since no one wants to go first so quickly. Um, so I liked the fabric and what she was trying to do here. I think performance-wise, she could have had more time to get herself acquainted with her wings because it
Mhm.
looked performance-wise, it looked a little clunky and a little static, like she wasn't sure where to place them when to stretch out the way she wanted to. It like it's a nice look, but it did not stand out for me. I think it's a lot cleaner, but it does also remind me closer to her week one outfit because she did kind of like the Creature of the Black Lagoon, and it gives me a similar structure to that. So I'm always gonna put one and one together, even though they don't correlate. But I really wanted it to like smack me across the face, and it did not do that.
Right. I think my thing with this look is it relates back to a different look from earlier in the season. The Yuri look. Like we've already seen like a velvety bat costume. We've already
Hmm.
seen this. And like it's not the greatest thing in the world. Like it gives very costumey. Um it's fine, I guess. But it definitely if we've already seen something similar to it, I would have switched it up personally. Like we've already seen a bat velvet bodysuit.
And real quick, just because I just noticed this, compared to where like the wings are sitting, I wish that was flat or like
Hmm.
rounded back to the head more, because then it just looks like forehead bump wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I did not love this look, for similar reasons to what y'all have said already, in that we've seen this type of look before. Like, I'm not gagging. Also, out of all the things you can do with a like a vampire or a bat look, this is one of the more predictable things you can do, which is why I was so disappointed in Yuri in the premiere. They're like, "Ooh,
Exactly.
a bang."
Same.
And instead
Literally.
instead of a bang, it's like Karen haircut and like makeup that's giving it's not a phase mom. Like I need more. I'm sorry. There's like so much more you can do as a concept. And it like I love when artists go out of the box for their concept and they have a really interesting idea and they're able to pull it off. This they can pull it off, but the idea is boring to me. With so much peace and love, Jahario.
And I think the biggest thing for me, the other girls touched on it a bit, but like this is not completely black and white.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure for especially for fabric, it's really hard to get like true black materials that are going to look black in every light and whatever, but everybody else managed to do it.
Yeah. So I guess it wasn't that difficult
Yeah.
when you
I think
actually.
yeah, I think when it comes to lighting a show like Dragula or Drag Race or whatever, wearing black can look very boring, so you need to use textures for it to look good on camera or to
Hmm.
like shine more, like stand out more. And I think there are ways to combat that. That's not black and white. That's not even that, it's
Hmm.
this
It's giving brown, it's giving grayish,
Yeah,
like
Hmm.
it's because it's like a velvety material, so
Yep.
it's like catching the light just right. And you're on camera. This isn't your first week. Like you know that you're in front of lights and stuff. So I just think it was lazy and a little sloppy.
for me it's a boo.
It's a boo.
It's boop.
this is a bill.
All right. Well, next up to the stars, we have Aurora Cosmic. Mhm. So, one of our guest judges made a point, the same point that I wanted to make. Miss Ma'am can put on like a wedge, a heel of some sort. Like, listen, top half, prop, prosthetic. Great, awesome. I really like what she did. She didn't, yes, she has like on a simple gray bodysuit, but she like embellished it. She put in the work, like the claws and whatnot. But you couldn't spare for a heel. I would have taken a Skechers wedge at this point. Like, I needed that drag aspect, um, just to elevate it a little bit. Like, otherwise, I think she nailed the monster part. It's just making sure that it comes back to that drag. Like literally, Violet was like a sandal with a heel. Just something to bring it a little more together. But like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's
What,
almost there for me.
you don't live for the Walmart dinosaur kid slippers
And I
that they
don't.
have?
That's
You
not
don't
even
live.
that. It's literally fabric wrapped around her ankle.
Yeah.
They're giving, that's what they're giving for me, Mama. They're giving those like that you used to get for Christmas when you were like 5.
And they made sounds.
Yep. Yep. Like each
I
step was like
love
a
that.
rawr, rawr.
I love that.
I
Yeah.
It's a
think
mess.
I also agree that this is like I think it was a cool idea. And it could have worked a lot better, but it didn't go as far as it needed to. I think that's one thing that with Aurora, when she's not doing glamour, she doesn't push as far, I feel. And
Mm.
Hmm.
um I think like I like the prosthetic. I do agree with Violet that you can tell that it's paper mache, but I think it was I was surprised to see that from Aurora, and I liked it. But the rest of it, it's a no, mama.
for me, I actually really like the prosthetic. At least like in the still, I think the prosthetic looks spooky and creepy. Is it the most like amazing thing ever? No. Um, I don't, I'm not like vomiting, throwing up, pissing, shitting over the fact that her shoe lack of lack thereof is like that. I would prefer like a webbed feet moment. I think that would
Ooh.
be a lot better. To me, this is giving like I don't have the budge to make this like head to toe amazing. So I'm gonna focus on the head, and then my performance and my prop is gonna like get me through this week, and it didn't. So there are things that like I like, but there's also a lot of things I don't like. And it, I feel like when Aurora was in the like cauldron or like the other room preparing, they're like, okay, what should I do? Ooh, I'll add some rhinestones to it to make it sparkle. And you just see like on the arms just little rhinestones. I'm like, I think it needs a little bit more than that, but like work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think relating back to what Mikey said, it's like when it comes to the glamour, that's very clearly Aurora's forte. And then, just like people were saying early on, this isn't, this is pretty clearly like stuff that you don't do on the regular.
Hmm.
So, although your concept is cool and like you clearly push yourself out of your box, it's not to the same level. You're not ready for that style. That's not
Yeah,
your thing. So, it is a boo.
Yeah, it's a boo. Sorry, Miss Aurora.
it's a boo
This
for
is a
me too.
bow.
It's also a boo for me. But next up to the hooked stage, we have Yuri. And I think it's only right we let our resident Kiwi go first.
Delay. Okay, so overall, I enjoy this outfit. Um, I think it's really fascinating to look at, and I like when looking at this, I'm wondering like what is the story behind this? Because it's not like a I think the concept is a lot different to more basic things like, oh, I'm the creature of the Black Lagoon, or oh, I'm a sexy bat. Um, this looks like this could be a villain in a horror movie. Um, that is unique and different. Um, we don't know what Yuri's original look was. I would love to see what that would have been. Maybe that's on their social media. I don't know. But from this, I like it. I think there's definitely room for improvement. I'm getting the like I don't know how to explain this, but the sleeve being like super long and the the like headpiece and the makeup, to me it kind of gives like um kind of like an Asian feel to it. Am I
Like
correct?
a like a
Does
kimono
anyone get
vibe.
that?
I feel that.
Yeah, like a kimono vibe, and I feel like maybe if they had like a katana that like when you unsheathed it, it was like smoking or something, like something to add to that. I don't know if that's what you was going for. They were going for like Guy Garden. I don't know what Guy Garden is, Yuri. But
I,
that's I like it. I don't fully know what it is. I don't I think I wish I could see what the original concept was.
um,
What
one of the first things I thought of when I first got the full vision of the flower head was the flowers from Alice in Wonderland.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um but it looks like the cunty evil version of one of those flowers. I was into it. I was like, I think this is cool. I knowing about the time constraint, I think she did a good job putting something together in whatever amount of time she had. um I was into this. I think it's cool. I think I love the contrast of it. I wish there was a little more contrast in the outfit, but I really love the stark black and white in in the flower and the face, and the makeup is super cool too.
Hmm. I think it's interesting. I think that like it's outside of the box, which gives it something already a step above what some other people did. Like it's not this wouldn't even be like something that would come up in my mind for this
Mm-hmm.
challenge. So that's when I'm already a little impressed. Is it a little simple in like design other than the headpiece? Yeah, that's that's very apparent. We know what happened. That's fine. Um, but I like the look.
Yeah,
It interests me. It keeps me engaged, unlike other looks we've seen so far that are kind of been like, oh, like this is kind of expected and didn't really hit the mark. This one, while maybe it's not completely all the way there, it's completely
it's good.
original
Yeah,
and I really enjoyed it.
Same. I enjoyed the haunting like vibes I got from Yuri's performance. Um, the flower petals look stunning. Um, I just wish that she continued to like focus in on her performance because that's where I think she kind of falters a little bit in regard to her confidence because she has it. It's there. I'm like waiting for her to like dig deep, really dig deep and be like, okay, I accept it. I get it. I'm going to put that into all that I am and own it because like it's like palpable and I feel like we're almost there, but we're like not quite there. Um, Overall, I really like this look. Again, I don't know what reference she's giving, but like I like the gloves, I like the flower petals, um, the embellishments in the middle with the sides to kind of have it come all together. I really am intrigued what her other outfit would be. I just checked her Instagram and it's not there. I hope she does post it. But for me, this is a soft whoop.
it's a completely just like average sized. Woo!
For me, it was a slightly bigger than average. Woo!
I would say this is a just a good old fashioned average. Woo!
And speaking of donuts, next onto the stage.
Well, donuts.
Why'd you look at me
Old
when you said
fashioned.
that?
Asia
Uh,
consent. You said old fashioned. Is Miss Asia consent?
I was into this. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I completely like think this hit the brief for me, but it's well done. It's black and white. It's interesting. Like I think it's good, but it wasn't like crazy for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same wheelhouse. Like, I love the creativity of it all. Like, I do think that it's too modern though, and I got shit scared for Asia because it's like, oh God, it's like, okay, yes, you got this, but then if it doesn't match the theme, any fine like little point will send you home. And they
Hmm.
did clock her for it too. Like, her craftsmanship and overall concept is great, but like you gotta make sure you're paying attention to what we ask of you in the challenge. Like it could mean yo ass going home.
Yeah, I think that's fair, like a very fair critique from the Boulets because Asia is so original. Like everything Asia does has this stamp of like, this is something I've created. Like this is Asia consent. You can tell every time. But sometimes you do need to fit you need to fit the brief a little bit. Like you've been given some leeway here and there and like because sometimes it's matched up or like been close enough within the brief. But now you're kind of like doing your own thing a little too much. It's like, okay, reel it back in, concise it down, get those details in order, and then you're gonna take it again. She's kind of slipping a bit for me. If I'm being real.
I'm gonna be different and say that I actually really enjoyed this look. Um, I think fitting the brief, it's like a maybe personally for me because they had to was like reimagine a like classic
Hmm.
thing you'd
Hmm.
see.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it was like to create a new classic.
So
Oh.
they had to create a new look inspired by like the classic
Like
monsters
universe.
of the silver screen or like of yesteryear.
A new look inspired by.
Yes, so they had to have seen they have to see like what you're referencing, but at the same time they're not expecting you to be like on the dot.
Right.
This is clearly the Wolfman.
Bye.
I'm kidding.
I
Um,
mean it's clearly the marshmallow, Michelin.
Bye.
Totally.
oh, Mary Cherry. Right, right, right.
But
Who
like
wore it better?
her scary godmother.
This is
And
literally Fairy Godmother meets Call of Cthulhu. What are you talking about?
Ah.
Exactly. That's
and
exactly
like
what I was gonna say.
I know it was a different challenge, but like we've already seen Asia in a black and white look that I think was better than this one for me. And
Hmm.
so like it this one just like I don't know, let me down a little bit.
Yeah.
This is actually like maybe my second favorite look of Asia's. But I'm also not remembering every single Asia Consent look
Hmm.
on the top of my head. I remember the premiere, being obsessed with that, being like, I'm gonna watch for Asia Consent. And then this look, I actually really enjoy. I think it's very creepy. It reminds me of biblically accurate angels in a way.
This
Yes,
right here.
this and it's like the little
Are you sure?
tentacles. Yes, no, the in the like biblically accurate angels, they have like all the eyes and like the little things, and that reminds me of the gems that have the black blood dripping down on it.
Okay.
Uh,
Hmm.
the I love the I love like all the tentacles, and I love that it maybe I wouldn't say uncanny valley because like look at the material, but it does give like humanoid in a way. Obviously, as much as you can with the fact that you are a human being dressed up as this. But I personally loved it, and I they performed really well on it. It didn't fit the brief, and they were
Hmm.
wearing like a mask, so there's only so much you can appreciate this look for, in my opinion,
Very that.
without it actually fitting what they asked for. So
Hmm. I think one thing I want to keep in mind with Asia consent moving forward is that effect of like maybe setting the bar too high for yourself
Hmm.
Hmm.
right out of the gate. That happens a lot. And I used to really hate that critique, especially on like regular drag race and stuff. But you do it to yourself. Like if you're coming out and you're setting this standard, you have to meet it now. You can't have come out in your best look and then been like, oh shit, the rest of the stuff I brought is scraps. Like
Right.
obviously it's gonna tell a difference. Not that this is scraps by any means.
No, not
I
at all.
think and I think also I wanna like take a second and step back and be like, compared to some other looks, this is still like a lot better.
Yeah. Agreed.
But like for Asia consent, it didn't meet the mark. I'm gonna give it a slight boo.
I completely agree. The teensiest, tiniest little
Mm-hmm.
I can't be like Switzerland. So, sorry, Tessa. So it's gonna have to be a very slight boo for me as well, just because it did not hit the fan.
it did not hit the brief, and for that reason, I'm still
you're allowed to
I'm
like it if you want to.
hold
Right.
on, I was about to trick y'all, nasty bitch. It is a woo for me. This is I still fucking love this look. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna apologize.
Oh no,
You just
don't get me
didn't.
wrong.
Um
I love this look, but for the fact that it did not hit the brief, that's where I'm kind of like,
I love a bitch that say, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna apologize.
anyway, no, this is one of the more interesting looks this floor show. It didn't hit the brief, still interesting, still shows a level of polish, even if they have maybe one
Agreed.
too many things put on. Um, I'll take that over a bat, a furry
Mhm.
bat that isn't black and white. I'm sorry, or
Agreed.
a fish, paper mache fish head with a bodysuit and a rag with string or something tied around the feet.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
always gonna pick that over those other ones.
I
Sorry.
say I think the bottom two was very clear
Hmm.
this episode.
White Aurora do like a Scylla tribute with the feet and
Speaking of in
crying.
her Skechers, next up we have to the stage, and that's so real. Gray matter. Listen, this bitch ate down, down. Like the bitch was on stilts, has their own wings. I thought it was hilarious that Drac thought that like, oh, why isn't she waving to us, sister? She's she has to man the wing.
I will say this is not the first time I've been fooled by that illusion, and it won't be the last because
Same.
I had the same thing. I was like, wow,
I
that's so cool. Those wings. Whoa, they're so Oh.
I may have thought the same for the first few seconds, and then I saw how skinty those little fingers were, and I'm like, you physically cannot put your hand in there. So, and then I saw the arm and the wings. I'm like, okay, got it.
Um, if you're gonna do something bat like, do it like this.
Yeah, yeah. Step out of the box. You have to give it a little extra spin. You have to give it a little extra creativity. It can't just be, I'm a bat. Like we we're beyond that at this point. I fear. Like you're not gonna get by with just wearing a bat bodysuit. This was so cool. And it makes me even more mad when we reflect back to giving this person a disadvantage. It's like now they came out in this, and on top of that, they get to say, and I survived the disadvantage that was placed against me, and look how good I did. Like, be serious.
Quite
Like,
literally, everyone that has had a curse placed on him has gotten to say that.
Because they always do, they always pick the worst possible option. Like, where is Jay Jolie to pick, like, the person who's gonna go
literally,
home?
Where's Melissa Be Fierce? Because she would do it.
put Jay Julie on Titans too. I said it.
Exactly.
I honestly want to see her do
Royal.
that.
I would hate to be Jaharia, like having like dressed up as your little fuzzy bat that's not black and white, and then you just like turn your head and with the little bat wings, and you're like, fuck. Like looking at looking at what Gray Man has on, what y'all said earlier about like if you're gonna do a bat, do something like this. Yes. But this like Gargoyle King bat thing, it's so fucking interesting to look at. Like the the creepy angles of everything and like the boning of the wings, the like little like gargoyle looking thing. Like it looks like it's made out of stone. The textures of the black clothing, like, oh look, it hits, you can see it and it like shines differently because it's different textures. Wow, crazy. This is amazing. And I saw this and I was like gooped. And I was thinking, I don't know how Delulu I was because I was looking at the floor show and I think Asia's look was one of the earlier ones, maybe. And
It's
I
kind of in
remember
the
seeing,
middle.
I don't
yeah,
remember.
I don't know if Grey was before or after Asia, but I remember
After.
seeing, yeah, okay. So I saw Asia's, I'm like, this is my favorite so far. I don't really get the brief though. And then I saw this, and then I'm like, all right. So we have a winner. Congrats, Gray. Thank you. Um, woo, like, fuck,
Yeah,
damn.
like the and like I think it's really cool that Gray has this big head sculpture, but still managed to do that signature little rib thing across the head. But besides that, I mean, we've come to know that the construction and the polish from gray matter will be there,
Hmm.
but this is just it's next level, and it works so well for the challenge. It's genuinely pretty terrifying to look at. Like
Yeah.
this is a scary monster, and like it's it's just cool.
It's a scary monster while also being like very much drag,
Hmm.
which I think they've really tried to push that out of Gray so far in this competition, and they've really been meeting that critique
Yeah,
lately, which is impressive. And I'm back on the gray matter train. I was
yeah.
off of it. I was off of it for a little bit, and I was like, it was giving me like Jarvis Hammer vibes, like, oh, you're not living up to the expectation from
Hmm.
preseason. And now I'm like, okay, never mind. Never mind, you are, and I'm back.
And I think like I agree that like this could have just been like the wings stapled on the back, and her arms are just like Gray's arms are just their arms. And it still would have been a good look, but it wouldn't have been as drag. And I think being able to have the wings like that, like using that presentation of it, took it to that next level. And it's woo, woo.
I agree. It's also woo. I love how Max sits there in silence.
Oh, she
I already
ready to
said
go.
woo.
Oh well.
Like, no,
Do you
thousand
watch
percent
the show,
woo.
Tamar?
Speaking of yes, I did. Next to the stage, we have anti-heroine. Now, when I tell you I giggled in like anticipation from how cool this is.
Oh,
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 Oh, the fuck
they said,
happened here?
remind ya.
Oh,
I'm kinda.
what happened here? Oh,
Oh,
oh well.
there we
got
go.
mixed up a little
I
bit.
I think there was one too many placed in here, but I really loved this. I liked it. Like I giggled a little after because I was like, "Oh, this is really, really cool." I guess the one thing I'm still kind of questioning, even as I look at it now, is the amount of cutouts on each of the sides. I'm not understanding maybe what purpose they serve other than to maybe de-stress the outfit she has on. But like the vision itself as a whole is stunning. Like it's horrifying, straight out of like Coraline's nightmares. I I I dig this. Like she looks like she's ready to go fuck shit up and then go get a margarita after. Like
Yeah, I agree. I think this is another one that is like creepy to look at, and I love the like insectness of it, the sharp pincers, the really sharp shoulders, this crown that's coming out of her head. Like I think it has some really cool elements. I think the dress and the shawl are a little basic, but like I think overall this is really effective. I think it's a job well done from Auntie.
Real for you. For
Oh,
me, I wasn't super featuring this. I didn't really enjoy the like masked head moment because it looked really fake and it looked like you're like a little rag doll or something. Um, I don't know. And it wasn't that scary to me. I guess I was thinking scarier. Like the crab legs were cute, but like put them in a boil bag and we're set. Like I'm not scared. But
Morgan
it
just
was
wants
fine.
seafood.
You'd eat that?
Mama, and I don't even like crab. Well, I could still
I
crack you open.
I love seafood.
I got crackers from the seafood shake restaurant still, stolen from when I was a server there at me.
And what year was that?
Um,
Exactly.
pre-pandemic.
Exactly. So
so for me, this, I love that this theme is like recreating a universal monster. I'm like, "Ugh, I forgot about the spooky praying mantis queen. Forgot about that movie. Um,
yeah, it's right there.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know if this like fits the same theme because we want to talk about other ones, but what about this one, you know?
hmm
I don't um I like things about it. I think the fabric is a little boring. What are the eyes about? Um, it looks a little cheap, and I think the mask you didn't really need. I think you could do the same thing, having just like the white face, the creepy teeth, the jewels. Like I think you didn't need to wear like fabric that's frumpy when you look at
hmm
it. Like I like this concept. I wish there was just more polish to it, and we've seen that from Anti. So like, you know, I like it. Like the concept execution could be a lot better in my eyes.
I could. I would like this look more if it was a little more influenced by like organic. Like if the face was more of like a prosthetic, like
Hmm.
icky, like gooey something. Like if it gave more creepy overall. Like it gives like weird sock puppet to me. I'm not scared by it at all.
Well, I like it. It's a woo from me.
It's a woo for me.
It's a slight boo for me.
It's a slight woo for me. Very slight though.
All right, so speaking of slight, up next to the stage is our final competitor for the night. Hi.
No,
Well,
no. Um,
well.
this I love the concept of like something creepy that's like gonna be under your like bed or something. This is terrible. I'm so sorry. Like it's like the eyes and the teeth. I think it's interesting to kind of have that cartoonish look. This is just reads as Poppy's playtime and like the foo ostrich feathers on the fingers for tingliness. Like, can we not do that? I actually really, really hate this, and I would have put this in the bottom three personally. Sorry.
So I I'm gonna disagree completely, actually. I thought that this looked inspired by like old animation and like um those old cartoons that like yes are still cartoons, so they're not actually like scary, but they're still creepy. And this is like it like I don't know if any of y'all, I also have not actually played it, but if y'all know Bendy and the Ink Machine, the game,
hmm
it like it gave me that kind of vibe. And I like the I like the cartoonishness of it all. And I think especially if we're talking about old films, old animation and old cartoons are really important to reference. I think like um, not a lot of people would have thought to do that in a monster challenge like this. And do I think it's the most amazing look ever? No. I mean it's a bodysuit with some fur on it and the tickly fingers in the head. But I really liked it. I thought it was cool. I It's another one that like it it might not be super complicated, but it has something interesting about it, something different that makes you look at it and you remembered this one. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
No. I
This is a mess to me. Like I'm for the however many times this season, I agree with Mac that I never used to say these things, but now I'm like in sync with Mac this season. I didn't like this. It was very like kitty costume. And I feel like earlier in the season, Pi was getting red for doing stuff like this and like it being a little too like campy charactery instead of like showing you. And I'm getting the same things again. I'm like not it's not giving me what I'm wanting. Like I need to see something different from Pi, and I feel like I keep getting like the same note the whole way through, but they seem to enjoy it more now for some reason,
I think that's fair.
even though nothing really changed.
Yeah, it was cute for me, but I felt like I got more like 90s, 2000s cartoon, kind of like Courage or like Powerpuff Girls type tees.
It looks like the little demon from Disenchantment.
Real. Um, so like I enjoy Pie's style of creativity. I don't think they hit the boxes the way they needed to with this one. Like I see the concept, but yeah, I also agree it's a little more simple in nature with like just fur in certain places and then the head and then that's it. I think their performance sold it, but if we're looking standardly just at the outfit, like it is simple, it's clean, but I do kind of wish for more in that sense.
And
I
I will say another thing in support of this look. I really liked the use of black and white in this.
It's
I
very
thought
the
having the
gradient.
white hands was interesting, and I don't know. I get that this isn't the look that the girls really love, but I liked it.
I mean, I
And
I
still
she's
like
black
it.
and
I
white in a
just
black
don't
and white challenge. Groundbreaking.
don't get me wrong. I like it. I just don't think like as finite and as toothpick thin as these critiques are going to be for them in real life. I think I also have to look at in that same scale. Because like I enjoy the look overall, like and what it gives me, it's slightly nostalgic to some of the memories that I go back to. But as far as the challenge itself, it's not fully hitting the mark.
I think I understand the referent the that kind of old cartoonish style, and I think those just in general can look creepy because it's so different to like what animation looks like now. Like Bitty Boop and the way that their eyes are, which is similar to like the Bindi and the Ink Machine. I get that. Oh, I think what really bothers me is the fact that it's like feathers, especially in the hands. Like it's giving like fur. Fur doesn't scare me. When I think of fur, like a blanket, I'm like, ooh, I'm nice and like toasty. But like I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, so she put like a basic fabric, which she padded nicely, and it's nicely padded. And you've got like fur boots and just the legs just being nothing. It's not
It's
good
literally a
to
black
me.
bodysuit. Like, be
It's a
serious.
with feathers and fur. I think it would be really interesting if like you see I just love really scary things, and that's why I really enjoyed what Gray Matter was giving. Also, Gray's just great in general, but that look before was great, like great. Um, what I wish was different is if you I don't mind like the white hands, but instead of feathers, maybe it could be like white blood, which would be very different to like this mainly black outfit. If you had like the white be like blood splatter or something, I don't know, but I think there would be a interesting idea with that to contrast with the white of the eyes and the teeth.
Hmm.
Like maybe white dripping. It might look a little crazy, might because white liquid, but I'm thinking in an artistic level, I hope that makes sense.
I think it's hard to critique Aurora's look and not critique this for the same reasons. Like, they're both
Real.
a headpiece of somewhat significance to the look with a bodysuit that has slight embellishments on the hands and feet. Like, they're literally, in that sense, they're the same to me. So, like, if you're going to critique one negatively, how are you not critiquing the other one in the same way?
That's
They're the
true.
exact same like setup of a look.
That's fair.
I give this a very small, very slight boo.
I give it a boo. Period.
Boo, and I would have thrown this in the bottom too.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll go with a very soft, very, very, very soft.
Speaking of fracking, um, so the winner is gray matter.
Like, duh.
Like duh.
Duh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Literally destroyed. No competition whatsoever.
L-
Everyone else had at
Eight,
least something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
eight left no crumbs. I think. Oh, who? Not Violet. Mike Flanagan literally said this is one of their favorite looks that they had ever seen on Dragula. Period.
Hmm.
And I was like, real.
It was
I
real.
mean, like great concept, great construction, great performance and physicality. Like Gray hit it out of the park this week, and I think especially for where they were at in the competition, this was a really good time for them to like finally pull out that win because they've been
Hmm.
doing well the entire time. Everybody
Right.
sees it, but now they have a win behind them, and
Hmm.
I think they have all but secured their spot as like a finalist in my
Hmm.
eyes.
Real. Like this is the time to like shit or get off the pot to where I was like, oh, are they gonna give Gray like a Louisiana style edit? Like gorgeous girl, beautiful gowns, just not her time.
Gray matters, sweetie. I'm so sorry.
Not too much on Louisiana.
I
Louisiana.
love Louisiana Purchase. Do not get me wrong. They are just not in the same hemisphere.
No, no, they are very different in their styles by far. But like as far as their Dragula trajectory, that's
Mhm.
kind of where I felt it because it was like, damn it, Gray was so close, but no cigar. I feel like Louisiana was like that for a while.
But they Gray finally like hit it all the way out of the park this week, and it
Period.
was
Mhm.
absolutely a deserved win.
For sure.
And then our bottom two were, to no one's surprise, Jaharia and
Mm.
Aurora Gosmic.
Yep.
I
Anyone
pers
surprised?
I personally would have put pie in the bottom and replaced Aurora to be so honest. I would have
I
had
think I
You
think
I
lost
if
would
me
have
Pie
there.
no,
if
I would have
Pie
chose Shaharia and Pie for the bottom two.
if Pie is there, I think all three of them have to be there because I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
I
saving.
think I would have
I'm
had a bottom three.
yeah. I like
I actually I agree with that more than picking between two
Because
flops
I think the other
already.
two also very much deserve to be in the bottom.
yeah.
But if you're going to critique Aurora's outfit for those critiques, then you need to do it the same way for the other person because they
Mhm.
are wearing the same outfit in
I
construction.
I I was very shocked when the like placement starting to happen and the
Mhm.
Boulets were immediately like, Pie, you're safe. I literally looked at my partner and was like, so who's gonna be in the bottom? Because like, oh, it has to be anti, right? Anti-heroine. Like it's gonna be anti, right?
Be serious.
And then
You did
and then
not think
you're
Angie was going to be in the bottom.
well, only after Pi was called safe. I'm like, oh, I thought Pi was a lock for the bottom. Like,
Jaharia and
I
Aurora standing there like
sitting there like fish and
And they've also been doing
um
that thing with the critiques lately where they only have like two available options as the bottoms, and then like everybody else getting a critique is in the top. It's always like, oh, there's no suspense whatsoever who's going to
right.
be in the bottom here. At least Drag Race gives us like the three.
well, I
Mhm.
feel like Yuri was like low this episode because they
It
were
was.
But I don't like I think even if Yuri was low, I don't think there was any way they were going to put her in the bottom,
Oh,
Mhm.
no.
especially over Aurora and Jaharia.
It wasn't the same critique level.
Because
Exactly.
they were like we understand the time constraint that you had to work with because the other outfit whatever, and this needs to be stepped up. We need to critique it on the same level as everybody else, but it was it was a good start, and
Mhm.
so I don't think they were ever going to put Yuri in the bottom
I
in the extermination at least.
yeah, no, I totally get that. And I'm just kind of gagged that Yuri's like half-assed look that they had to whip together was like 10 times better than Pie's fully thought out look, in my opinion.
Fully thought out
But
as a stretch.
well, like the stretch fabric they had as a bodysuit, which they just put
Exactly.
fur on, feathers, and called it a day. Anyway, can you tell that I didn't agree with the Boulets for once? That I
Hey,
voiced
when
my
I want to be
opinion.
comfy on the runway, so I make my bodysuit out of velour.
Sasha?
Exactly.
And the extermination challenge was harkening back to season 4, which is the vacuum bed of death challenge, but with a twist. They will also be shocked.
Like, y'all are rude. It's already bad enough. It's already bad
Literally.
enough. We don't need to add. We've already had electrocution. We don't need to keep doing it. Like, especially for this, like, once again, let me reiterate, I would never be able to do Dragula ever. I would never do any of the
Same,
exterminations.
same,
They'd be
sis.
like, we're sticking needles in you. Nope, I'm quitting. Or tattooing something ugly on you permanently. I'm quitting. You're jumping out of a plane. I'm quitting. You're swimming with sharks. I'm quitting. You're vacuuming me into plastic where I can't breathe. I'm quitting. I'm not coming to the
You're gonna be locked
extermination.
down to a bed and have rats climb all
I'm
over you.
in fact, I'm telling you, I'm showing up and dipping behind the scenes. Like I'm not giving you an edit to use, nothing.
You're
Like,
gonna bungee jump in the dark, bitch.
girl, no, I'm not. I'd rather climb in the hill. That's the worst part. I have to climb the hill in full drag. No,
Listen.
ma'am.
Ugh. Um, I think I would be able to handle the first part, which is just like the being suffocated. as a bottom, I can handle extended periods of time
Hmm.
not being able to breathe, but being electrocuted also,
That's
no,
where we draw the
not
line.
for me.
See, I think I'm the opposite. I can handle electrocution. I can whatever,
Sorry,
zap.
No.
I'm
I don't give
actually
a fuck.
crying.
But like not being able to breathe is like one of my biggest fears.
Like,
hmm
how are you supposed to breathe with no air by Jordan Sparks?
Don't they
Like,
usually like turn their heads to the side in those things when they're doing art
that's
exhibits?
that's what
Like
I thought. That's what I would do. And then they like
they don't let them do
the
it.
Israel or whoever like
Like
slams them against the thing.
I
First
would
of all, I'm like,
not.
ugh,
This is the reason I don't do
jealous.
shit like this because I don't trust even like the people that are working the mechanics of things. Like I don't trust the bungee jump like person that's telling me it's working. I don't trust the skydiving instructor, the scuba instructor enough. I don't know, y'all, and you can't control everything, so we're not
I would,
doing it.
I would love to see
Not
Morgan
doing
do
it.
like a roach tube race like they did in season 3.
Oh God, I hate that.
No.
Why? Mm-mm.
And like I'm not letting rats crawl over me. That's not happening.
Don't be mean to Mikey. That's crazy. Was
Here she
right, Q.
go.
Was right, Q.
There she goes, Miss America. Oh no. Um. Ah. There she goes again. Okay.
Cut that
Um.
out. We don't have the licensing.
No, literally. I mean, it's less than 8 seconds. Uh,
This
um.
episode sponsored by Spotify. I'm just kidding.
Spot as a sponsorship. Uh. We're gonna go straight into the cauldron because listen, the girls are fighting.
Hmm.
Girl.
I mean, I love seeing their desire and their passion to be here, but literally it was just like da 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 da, like just throwing jabs left and right. But Jaharia was handling her no problem.
It
Quite
was just, I don't
literally,
know. Like it was funny to me. Like I don't
it
know.
was. It was
It was
funny.
just like it was camp.
I'm trying to remember all the like memorable lines that were said in the
Oh
cauldron.
God. So Aurora said that she didn't see growth in Jaharia and hadn't seen her personality. Basically said that she was uninteresting. Um, to
They
which
both wanted to have their moment before
hmm
they go into elimination, just in case it's their last.
They didn't have a chicken they could throw at them, so they had to throw jabs instead.
Very that, very that.
Jaharia notes in regard to Aurora's performance in the competition that she's been branding a lot and that's been getting her in trouble a lot. Like now's not a time to experiment. Now's the time to go on fully realized and brand yourself.
Hmm.
Which I mean, I do agree. Like I'm glad to see Aurora out of her comfort zone. Like do that once or twice, but then like build upon what you know and give that to them while taking critiques.
I think that that's a funny little comment from Jaharia when like pot meet kettle. What is your brand so far?
Right.
What are you known for in the competition? What have you been giving? That's like
Performance.
I mean, so have a bunch of other girls. That's not like your standout thing.
Well,
And she didn't even win the last performance challenge. She
it
could
Exactly.
have,
didn't.
but
So it's like, oh, if performance is your thing, then you're not the best at it. So why are you here? What is your thing?
I think it's very interesting that Jahari said that about Aurora, the whole like, oh, you're not fully like fleshed out as a Dragula like brand, like who are you type of thing.
Hmm.
When Aurora has, I
I
would
feel like
say
her brand didn't
half the
realize,
time her, I feel like half the time her drag is better than Jahari. So like Jahari, if that's your brand, rebrand, mama.
and like, how many wins do you have?
right.
Not a single one.
So And yeah, like that critique doesn't even apply to Aurora because it's like I do have a brand. My brand
Speaking
is very much glamour,
speaking of challenge wins, Jaharia then digs a little deeper and was like, Aurora should not have won the challenge. She won.
girl.
which is false.
Now we're just and I'll just say it, Aurora for me could have already had two challenge wins. I enjoyed Aurora and other challenges. So it's like, what are you talking about? Like
Yeah,
this is just now you're mad.
right.
Like
And
you're just mad.
that's what I meant when I said like these two were clearly just like fighting for the spotlight because they're upset that they're in the bottom and like they're just fighting to fight at this point.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then last, before we get into the last bit of it, Mama Auntie Heroine comes up to break up yet another fight. And Asia very much like very aptly put it like, I hope my insurance costs all the therapy that Auntie is currently giving. I don't think it does. But because she literally shut that shit down and was like, listen, she won because the Blue said she won. Why are we pressed? And why are we pointing fingers when one of y'all is gonna go home anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And like real. Like
Auntie's very interesting to me because Auntie will call out people and like instigate fights, but at the same time, if in the cauldron, Auntie's like, I haven't had any camera time for a little bit. Guys, we are better than this. We need to stop. I don't, I
Hmm.
think Auntie can be full of shit sometimes. And I like you need that mediator in like a friend group or whatever, or like this is a competition, so different. It gives fake. It
Hmm.
gives not real, which is fake. Um,
Exactly.
I was like, you just said that, bitch.
exactly.
I get that
Oh my
though.
god.
Like from the edit early on, it was
Absolutely.
set up that Auntie was like this big contender and was going to be a big character, but now it's slowly morphed into this like antagonistic figure for the
Right.
show. Like I'm not really rooting for Auntie
Kind of like the
anymore.
villain you love to hate kind of
She's
Yeah,
storyline.
Yeah.
she's giving anti-heroine a little bit. Like
yeah,
I'm
real.
truly.
Oh, they're so clever. They think they're so fucking clever.
I know. But speaking of clever, we're going to look at the leaderboard here in just a moment. Got all the
Oh,
people that are necessary.
Who
oh, like
went home?
spoiler. Oh my God.
Who went
Spoiler,
home?
we'll get into that real quick. But
Okay.
Aurora was exterminated and she was suffocated while trying to escape the set in a prop van by
Yeah.
Swan.
I love
Moon.
that they let her drive the car and
Literally,
bust through
It
those
gave
boxes.
acting.
Mhm.
It
Robbed,
got
he
robbed for
got.
me, honestly.
very Helen Shivers. Like so close to getting out.
Hmm.
But I think Aurora is the kind of queen that I would love to see on like a resurrection too, if they do that.
Yeah.
Like I think given time and like her own resources to put together some really stunning looks could do really well for her. But I think she placed about where I expected her to place in the competition.
Yeah.
I think preseason me thought that would be the case, but me watching thought she was going to go a little further. So I was a little sad. And I think she could have gone a little further and still done well.
I agree. Um, but here we are. We have Auntie, Gray, Asia, and Pi all with wins. And the only people that are left in the competition that have not won a single fucking thing are Jaharia and Yuri. Because the
Yeah,
only other person to have won was Aurora.
I think
yeah.
it's impressive that Asia and Pi, right, have made it this far without bottom placement.
Hmm.
Um, I think both of them did have weeks where they could have, um, but that's neither here nor there. Um, but yeah, I think everybody left is strong contenders, but I think we're starting to be able to see who the Boulets want in the finale.
Right.
I think based on the like 3x3 image you had for us, BNG, I believe the three at the top, Asia, Gray, and Anti, I think those three are gonna be locks at this point for being in the final four, and then it's a fight for that fourth spot.
Hmm.
And right now it's looking like Pi, so I kind of need Pi to like, get in the bottom two or something.
I
For my
need
girl
Yuri to
Yuri to.
win.
That's so. Actually, let's have that happen in the final five. Let's do that.
You said
Or
right before.
final six and five. Make it a double.
There we go.
Snatch two.
All right, ladies. Well, that concludes our review. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Pleasant dreams, ugly.